Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some Halo 3 Master Chief Collection gameplay. This is taking place on the map Ghost Town. Ghost Town, honestly, not one of my favorite Halo maps that I play. It has some enjoyable aspects to it. It's got some positional advantages with the top and bottom layers of the map, I suppose. But at the same time, I don't really like the choke point. The choke point seems a little bit forced, a little bit too chaotic for my liking. It almost gives the illusion that you can be aggressive, that you'll go in there and get a lot of kills, but usually what actually happens in practice is that people overextend, get baited by the enemy team, and then people just start lobbing in nades, or maybe someone will be camping in there with a shotgun, and you really get punished for overextending on this map, even if you try and be creative about it. I guess you could say that it has one too many set plays for my enjoyment. I don't like maps that have set plays, I'll tell you that much. I like the maps that reward creativity. They have interesting flanking routes, they have interesting jump routes that can be used to your advantage, things of that nature. Nonetheless, it's an okay map. I like the power weapon structure. Rocket launcher, sniper rifle, can't go too wrong. Today I wanted to talk about mindset in gaming, or in, I guess you could talk about any competitive field, or something where you're trying to win. A concept any gamer should be familiar with by now is the concept of salt. If you've been on a team where things get a little bit heated, people start losing their temper, curse words start flying out, and you know the drill. People get a little bit hot-headed, they start blaming either themselves, or worse still, their teammates, maybe just the game in general, and it starts to spiral, it starts to snowball. And today I wanted to talk about a couple of my techniques for trying to avoid these kind of mindset snowballing, because it really does affect your play. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I haven't actually talked about it on my channel whatsoever, which you know, I don't really like involving my personal life too much on the channel. I prefer this to be about the games. I've talked about that before, but I don't like the channels that become kind of a cult of personality channel. I think it goes to the YouTuber's head a little bit too much. Whereas if you make it about the game, then like a lot of the time, you know, I'm just trying to do the game a good service, like rather than worry about making sure that I, you know, am approved or disapproved of. That should be kind of negligible or neutral, you know. It should be about the game. Like, did I do a good job of displaying the game? Do you guys agree or disagree with my opinions on the game? But it's not so much about, you know, am I a great person? Have I got cool morals? I don't think that really matters. It's YouTube. I just want to talk about games. I just want to have fun playing games, etc. Nonetheless, recently in real life, I have been going to Super Smash Bros. Melee tournaments to compete for money. Sometimes I don't really earn anything close to you know, something decent. I've made a few decent placings and gone around, like, I don't know, £30 at some tournaments, which I was pretty happy with at the time. It's more for a pride point of view, from a pride perspective. It's been cool. I don't expect to be salaried on the MLG circuit anytime soon. But I'm still, you know, it's been a really enjoyable experience. And one of the things I noticed really early on in my Melee play when attending these tournaments was that, you know, my skill as a player and the overall time that I put into the game, and the discipline and, you know, the overall comfortability in my play, in terms of an offline environment, in terms of a environment just practicing by myself, with no one around to judge or to compare myself to one another, is almost kind of negligible. You know, in training mode at home, I could be the greatest player of Melee that's ever existed. I could be hitting all my combos, all my punish games. But when you go to a tournament, it's like a light switch. Something changes, and you have to step up a different aspect of your gameplay, and that is the mental aspect. I think the mental aspect is utterly crucial. And to me, you know, when you're playing Halo at home, you don't necessarily feel the consequences as heavily. There's excuses you can make to yourself to not have to blame your own mindset, to not have to work on your own mindset. You can just say, whatever, that was just a couple of bullshit games. I'm going to go ahead, put down my controller, and not bother with this game for a little while. And I think a lot of people do that. And, you know, they put the issues down to what the enemy team were doing, whether it was like campy or defensive or baited play, or they put it down to their own teammates. They get frustrated, and then when they came back on, they see the same patterns, you know, repeating themselves, maybe get a bit frustrated, but once again, don't lie the blame with themselves. And I think mindset is honestly a huge part of what separates a seasoned veteran, someone who has a great deal of consistency and can constantly pull out the good plays when it matters. I think so much more of that is down to mindset than to how refined their play is or how strong their play is. Their play becomes refined and strong and consistent as a result of a consistent mindset, one that doesn't falter and one that doesn't blame those around them or situations that are out of their control that they can't change. Because the truth of the matter is, there is a lot you can change. Sure, lag can affect some of the games that you have, but I'm honestly 99% sure that a lot of people who consistently complain about lag, if they took a step back and dissected the situation a little bit better and a little bit healthier, they could see that the lag wasn't so much the main concept or the major point of game bringing them back. It was how their mindset spiraled after a tiny bit of lag or after a play that didn't go necessarily their way. Like a light switch thing, it's not like something you wake up one morning and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna have a better mindset today, and then everything goes your way. You'll have all these little moments that will chip away at your mindset, that will say, hey, what about this? And it will throw a spanner in the works. And you'll say, that didn't go to plan. That wasn't fair. I had the positive mindset leading into that situation. And yet I got, BS'd back to back to back. I kept getting frustrated. It kept pushing me to my limit. And no matter how positively I looked at the situation, it felt like just nothing went your way. And that's because developing a positive mindset is definitely not an overnight concept. It just can't. You have to really, really work at it. You have to really be focused. And personally, the strategy I found is rationalizing positivity. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more. I feel like some people, when they hear that they have to be positive, and I definitely have this problem myself, and this concern myself, was when it's like, oh, all you need to do is have a more positive mindset, a more positive outlook. I think and look at that guy getting stuck under that gravel. What was that? Anywho, I think some people feel they have to fake positivity. They don't want to fake. They want to experience the game for what it is. They want to get into the heat of the moment. And, telling themselves to be positive every other life, that doesn't feel like a natural progression to them. That feels like, well, I'm not just going to lie to myself and tell myself stuff is positive when it isn't actually positive. And I think the way in order to battle this is to not fake the positivity, not force the positivity, but take a serious step back every time you die and try and think intelligently and rationally about a positive that could be related to that situation that just happened. Either, okay, we're only this far down, we still are very much in the fight. Okay, that guy did make a fairly strong play, and there wasn't much else I could have done about it. That's fine, but I've still got my next life to come in. And be looking at it from an intelligent standpoint, a point of view where you're not making up positives. You're actually trying to seriously look and analyze the situation and say how you could have done better and you will do better next talk, and how there is more that you can get out of this situation, and there is more that you could apply to this situation, and just make sure that you apply it the next time. Because I think what can happen over time is that people have this security blanket and this safety net of instead of dealing with a situation in a way that will be beneficial to them, they say, oh, well, that was complete AIDS, that wasn't fair, I got mistreated as a player, my skills were not appropriate, and they keep doing that so that they're never going to have to face the defeat head on. They're never going to have to actually look at the situation and say, well, why did this happen? Look at it in a rational way and say what benefit could come out of the situation, so that you're not just spiraling in defeat, you're not just, falling down every single time and taking the loss and not taking the necessary steps to improve yourself. And I think rationalizing positivity, for me personally, is the way that I've gone around this. I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Let me know in the comment section if you have any techniques of your own or tips that you would give to others to improve your mindset. That's just been what's working for me recently, and I'm really trying to make a go of it, because my mindset has had definite bad patches in the past. If you see my streams, sometimes I have my ragey days or my frustrating days, and I'm really trying to work around them. Anyway, I've been Modest Major. Hope you guys enjoyed this little commentary. Thanks for watching. Peace out.